First up, the Abraham Lincoln wheat penny dated 1945 without mint mark. This coin was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, and it represents the final year of World War II, which gives it a strong historical connection. Even when the coin is found in normal, damaged condition, it still attracts attention from collectors and history lovers because of its story and place in American coinage. The 1945 Lincoln wheat penny was made from bronze, which is a mix of copper, tin, and zinc. After the wartime steel cents of 1943 and the temporary composition changes of earlier years, the return to bronze made these coins feel more traditional and familiar to the public. The obverse of the coin shows Abraham Lincoln facing right, a design created by Victor David Brenner that first appeared in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. This design was loved by the public and became one of the longest-running designs in United States coin history. On the reverse side of the coin, you will see two wheat ears framing the words 1 cent and United States of America, with the motto E pluribus unum above. This wheat reverse design symbolizes American agriculture and prosperity, and it was used from 1909 until 1958, making the 1945 issue one of the later examples of this classic style. Many collectors prefer wheat pennies because they represent a bygone era of American money and daily life. The 1945 penny without mint mark means it was struck in Philadelphia, which was the main mint facility. At the time, millions of these coins were produced because the country was transitioning from wartime to peacetime and commerce was increasing. As a result, the mintage of the 1945 Philadelphia wheat penny was very high, which makes it a common date in general. However, condition plays a very important role in determining value, especially when we talk about damage, wear, and eye appeal. When a coin is described as being in normal damaged condition, it usually means it has clear signs of circulation, such as worn details, scratches, small nicks, edge bumps, or dark or uneven coloring from years of use. This kind of damage is very common for coins that were used daily for decades during the 1940s, 1950s, and beyond. Many of these pennies passed through countless hands, bought groceries, paid for newspapers, and rode in pockets and jars for generations. Even with damage, the 1945 wheat penny still holds value beyond face value because of its copper content and collector interest in wheat cents. Copper prices alone often support a small premium, and collectors frequently buy damaged examples as affordable additions to date sets or bulk wheat penny collections. For new collectors, this coin often serves as an entry point into the hobby. In today's market, a 1945 Lincoln wheat penny without mint mark in normal damaged condition usually sells about 10 cents to 35 cents, depending on the level of wear, damage, and overall appearance. Coins with heavier damage, such as deep scratches, corrosion, or bent shapes, may be closer to 10 cents, while coins that are worn but still have clear dates and readable lettering can reach 20 to 35 cents. Even though this may not sound like much, these values are still several times higher than the original 1 cent face value. It is important to understand that damaged coins are not typically graded by professional services because damage lowers collectability compared to problem-free coins. However, that does not mean they are worthless. Many collectors enjoy owning coins with character and history, and a circulated damaged wheat penny clearly shows that history through its surfaces and wear marks. Some people search through old jars, piggy banks, and inherited collections hoping to find rare errors or high-grade coins. While the 1945 penny is not rare, there are occasional error examples, such as off-center strikes or clipped planchets, but these are uncommon and usually need expert verification. If you believe you have an unusual example, it is best to compare it carefully with known error images or consult an experienced collector. Storage also matters, even for damaged coins. Keeping the penny in a dry place away from moisture can help prevent further corrosion. Copper reacts easily with humidity and chemicals, so simple care can preserve the coin in its current state and prevent additional damage over time. Collectors often group 1945 wheat pennies with other mid-1940s issues to tell the story of America during and just after World War II. These coins represent resilience, recovery, and everyday life during a major turning point in history. Owning even a worn example connects you directly to that period and the people who used this coin when it was new. In conclusion, the 1945 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny without mint mark in normal damaged condition is not a rare treasure, but it is a meaningful and collectible piece of American history. In today's market, its value typically ranges from 10 cents up to around 35 cents, depending on condition and demand. While it may not make you rich, it offers historical value, educational interest, and a solid starting point for anyone exploring the world of coin collecting and wheat pennies in particular. Next up, the Abraham Lincoln wheat steel penny from 1943 without mint mark in normal condition. This coin looks very different from other wheat pennies, and because of that, many people still search for it today and wonder if it has value. And the answer is yes, it does have value, even in normal circulated condition. The year 1943 was very special because the United States was involved in World War II. During this time, copper was needed for military equipment, so the government decided to change the metal used for pennies. Instead of copper, they used steel coated with zinc. This is why the 1943 penny looks silver or gray in color and feels different from regular wheat pennies. The 1943 steel penny without mint mark was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, and millions of these coins were made. But even though the mintage was high, many coins were later damaged, lost, or destroyed because steel rusts easily, especially when the zinc coating wears off. This makes clean and normal condition examples more desirable today. The design of the coin stayed the same as earlier wheat pennies. On the front, you see Abraham Lincoln facing right with the words "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the year 1943. On the back, you see two wheat ears surrounding the words 1 cent and United States of America. This classic wheat design is loved by collectors all over the world. A normal condition 1943 steel penny means the coin has been circulated but still has clear details. You can read the date and letters easily, and the coin is not heavily rusted. Some light wear, small scratches, or slight color change is acceptable as long as the coin is not badly damaged or deeply corroded. In today's market, a 1943 steel wheat penny without mint mark in normal condition usually sells in the range of $20 to $50, depending on eye appeal, color, and overall condition. Coins that still have a bright steel look with minimal rust are more attractive to collectors and can sell toward the higher end of this range. Many people confuse the common steel penny with the extremely rare copper 1943 penny, which is worth thousands of dollars. But it is important to understand that the steel version is the correct and official coin for that year. Still, even though it is not worth thousands, it is far from worthless and remains a valuable collectible. This coin is popular with beginners and experienced collectors because it tells a powerful story about wartime America, metal shortages, and changes in coin production. It is also easy to recognize, which makes it a favorite for people searching through old collections or inherited coins. If you own a 1943 steel penny without mint mark, keep it in a dry place, avoid moisture, and do not clean it because cleaning can reduce its value. Natural original condition is always preferred by collectors. Even a normal condition example can hold steady value over time. The Abraham Lincoln wheat steel penny of 1943 remains a symbol of history, sacrifice, and change, and that is why collectors continue to seek it today. Its unique metal, wartime background, and solid market demand make it one of the most talked about wheat pennies even decades later. Next up, the Abraham Lincoln wheat penny from 1953 with D-mint mark in good condition. This coin may look simple at first glance, but it carries history, value, and strong collector demand that many people do not realize. The Lincoln wheat penny was introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th birth anniversary of Abraham Lincoln. This was the first regular circulating coin in the United States to feature a real person. The design was created by Victor David Brenner, and it remained in use until 1958. The front side shows a detailed portrait of Abraham Lincoln, while the back side displays two wheat ears framing the words 1 cent. This design represents strength, prosperity, and the agricultural foundation of the nation. The 1953 Lincoln wheat penny was produced during a time when the United States was recovering from World War II and entering a period of economic growth. The Denver Mint produced a large number of pennies that year, and the D Mint mark below the date identifies coins struck in Denver. Even though the total mintage was high, collectors still pay close attention to condition, strike quality, and originality, especially when the coin survives in good condition after decades of circulation. A 1953 D wheat penny in good condition usually shows moderate wear on the high points of Lincoln portrait. The hair above the ear and the cheek area may appear smooth, but the main details are still visible. The lettering around the rim should remain readable and complete. On the reverse side, the wheat ears should be worn but not flat, and the words 1 cent and United States of America should still stand out clearly. A coin in good condition reflects honest circulation without heavy damage or corrosion. Collectors value these coins not just for rarity, but for historical connection. Many people today still remember finding wheat pennies in pocket change during earlier decades. Holding a 1953 D wheat penny is like holding a small piece of mid-20th century American life. This emotional connection adds to the demand, especially among beginner collectors and those who enjoy building date and mint mark sets. When it comes to value in today's market, a 1953 D Lincoln wheat penny in good condition is generally worth between $1 and $3, depending on eye appeal, color, and overall preservation. Some examples with better surfaces, strong details, and attractive brown tone may sell for slightly more in private sales or auctions. Coins that have been cleaned, damaged, or heavily scratched usually sell for less and are less desirable to serious collectors. While this coin is not considered extremely rare, it remains important because it completes many collections. A full Lincoln wheat set requires every date and mint mark, and the 1953 D is a necessary part of that journey. Many collectors prefer original circulated coins because they show real history rather than looking untouched and artificial. Another factor that affects value is originality. Collectors prefer coins that show natural aging and original color. A wheat penny that shows smooth wear with even brown tone often attracts more interest than a brighter coin that has been cleaned. Cleaning removes metal and damages the surface, which lowers long-term value even if the coin looks shiny at first glance. The copper composition of the 1953 wheat penny also adds appeal. These coins were made of mostly copper, which gives them a solid feel and rich color. Over time, copper develops character through toning and circulation. This natural aging process tells a story of where the coin has been and how it was used in everyday life. Many people discover wheat pennies in old jars, drawers, or inherited collections. Finding a 1953 D penny can be exciting, especially for new collectors. While it may not make someone rich, it can spark interest in coin collecting and learning about history, economics, and design. Every valuable collection begins with simple coins like this one. In today's market, interest in classic American coins continues to grow. Lincoln wheat pennies remain one of the most collected coin series in the world. Their affordability, historical significance, and wide variety make them perfect for collectors of all levels. The 1953 D wheat penny stands as a reminder that even common coins can hold lasting value and meaning. If you own a 1953 D Lincoln wheat penny in good condition, it is worth preserving. Store it safely, avoid cleaning it, and enjoy it as part of American numismatic history. Whether you're a beginner or experienced collector, this coin represents a timeless piece of the past and a solid collectible for the future. Next up, the Abraham Lincoln Wheat Steel Penny from 1943 without mint mark in normal condition. This coin looks very different from other wheat pennies, and because of that, many people still search for it today and wonder if it has value. And the answer is yes, it does have value, even in normal circulated condition. The year 1943 was very special because the United States was involved in World War II. During this time, copper was needed for military equipment, so the government decided to change the metal used for pennies. Instead of copper, they used steel coated with zinc. This is why the 1943 penny looks silver or gray in color and feels different from regular wheat pennies. The 1943 steel penny without mint mark was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, and millions of these coins were made. But even though the mintage was high, many coins were later damaged, lost, or destroyed because steel rusts easily, especially when the zinc coating wears off. This makes clean and normal condition examples more desirable today. The design of the coin stayed the same as earlier wheat pennies. On the front, you see Abraham Lincoln facing right with the words "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the year 1943. On the back, you see two wheat ears surrounding the words 1 cent and United States of America. This classic wheat design is loved by collectors all over the world. A normal condition 1943 steel penny means the coin has been circulated but still has clear details. You can read the date and letters easily, and the coin is not heavily rusted. Some light wear, small scratches, or slight color change is acceptable as long as the coin is not badly damaged or deeply corroded. In today's market, a 1943 steel wheat penny without mint mark in normal condition usually sells in the range of $20 to $50, depending on eye appeal, color, and overall condition. Coins that still have a bright steel look with minimal rust are more attractive to collectors and can sell toward the higher end of this range. Many people confuse the common steel penny with the extremely rare copper 1943 penny, which is worth thousands of dollars, but it is important to understand that the steel version is the correct and official coin for that year. Still, even though it is not worth thousands, it is far from worthless and remains a valuable collectible. This coin is popular with beginners and experienced collectors because it tells a powerful story about wartime America, metal shortages, and changes in coin production. It is also easy to recognize, which makes it a favorite for people searching through old collections or inherited coins. If you own a 1943 steel penny without mint mark, keep it in a dry place, avoid moisture, and do not clean it because cleaning can reduce its value. Natural original condition is always preferred by collectors. Even a normal condition example can hold steady value over time. The Abraham Lincoln wheat steel penny of 1943 remains a symbol of history, sacrifice, and change, and that is why collectors continue to seek it today. Its unique metal, wartime background, and solid market demand make it one of the most talked about wheat pennies even decades later. Next up, the Abraham Lincoln wheat steel penny of 1943 without mint mark. This coin was made during World War II, when copper was needed for war supplies, so the United States decided to make pennies from zinc-coated steel instead of copper. This decision created one of the most unique-looking coins ever produced, and that is why collectors around the world still love and search for this penny today. The 1943 steel penny without mint mark was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, and millions of these coins were produced. But even with high mintage, finding one today in extra fine condition is not easy because steel coins rust easily, and many were damaged or destroyed over time. People did not like these coins when they were released because they looked similar to dimes and were often confused in daily use. Many were lost, thrown away, or corroded, which makes surviving examples more interesting for collectors today. The design of this coin features Abraham Lincoln on the front, with strong details in the hair, coat, and facial features. In extra fine condition, most of the fine lines in Lincoln's hair are still visible. The cheek and jaw show light wear, but remain sharp. The wheat ears on the back are bold and clear, with only slight flattening, and the words 1 cent and United States of America are strong and readable. The zinc coating still shows a silver-gray color with only minor dullness in protected areas. Now let us talk about damaged condition, which is also very common for this coin. Damage can include rust spots, dark stains, peeling zinc coating, scratches, edge nicks, and corrosion. Because steel reacts with moisture, many 1943 pennies developed bubbling or rough surfaces. Even damaged examples are collected today because of the historical importance of the coin and because it represents a change in wartime coinage. Some collectors specifically look for damaged coins to show how steel pennies aged over time. In today's market, the value of a 1943 steel penny without mint mark depends heavily on condition. In extra fine condition, with minimal damage and original surface, this coin can be worth around $1 to $3, sometimes slightly more if the coin has strong eye appeal and clean surfaces without heavy spotting. Examples with very light wear and almost full detail may attract higher interest from beginner and intermediate collectors. In damaged condition, the value is lower, but the coin is still collectible. A heavily rusted or corroded 1943 steel penny without mint mark usually sells for around 20 to 75 cents, depending on how severe the damage is. Coins with peeling zinc or deep rust pits are worth less, but lightly damaged coins with partial shine and readable details still have some value, especially for educational collections and wartime sets. Many people ask why this coin is valuable when the price seems low. The answer is that value is not only about price, but also about demand, history, and popularity. The 1943 steel penny is one of the most well-known Lincoln cents ever made. Almost everyone has heard about it, and many people want to own at least one. This constant demand keeps the market active and prices stable even for common examples. It is also important to know that there are many fakes and altered coins in the market. Some copper-colored 1943 pennies are not real copper errors, but steel pennies that were plated or altered. Real steel pennies will stick to a magnet, so this is a simple test you can do at home. Always be careful and learn before buying or selling any coin. Collectors also like this coin because it tells a story of sacrifice and change during World War II. Every time you hold a 1943 steel penny, you are holding a piece of history from a time when materials were carefully controlled and everyday items were changed for the war effort. This emotional and historical connection adds to the appeal of the coin. If you find a 1943 steel penny without mint mark in extra fine condition, keep it safe. Store it in a dry place away from moisture to prevent rust. Even damaged coins should be protected because further corrosion can reduce value over time. Using simple holders can help preserve what remains of the surface. In conclusion, the 1943 Abraham Lincoln wheat steel penny without mint mark is a classic collectible coin. Extra fine examples are valued at around $1 to $3, while damaged examples usually range from 20 to 75 cents in today's market. This coin may not make you rich, but it's one of the most important and interesting pennies ever made, and a must-have for any Lincoln cent collection. Thanks for watching, and keep checking your coins, because history can still be hiding in your pocket. Next up, the 1940 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny with S mint mark is one of those coins that many people overlook, yet serious collectors understand its quiet importance. This coin comes from a time when the United States was recovering from economic hardship and moving closer to the global events of the early 1940s. The wheat penny series had already been in circulation for more than 3 decades, and by 1940, the design was familiar to nearly every American. The obverse shows the strong profile of Abraham Lincoln, a symbol of unity and perseverance, while the reverse displays the classic wheat ears framing the words 1 cent, a design that would soon disappear after 1958, making all wheat pennies historically significant. The S mint mark on the 1940 wheat penny tells us that this coin was produced at the San Francisco Mint. Coins from this mint often had lower production numbers compared to other locations, which adds to their appeal among collectors. The 1940 S wheat penny had a noticeably lower mintage than its counterparts from other mints, and that alone creates steady demand, especially when the coin survives in better condition. Many of these pennies were heavily used in everyday transactions during wartime preparation years, which means finding one in extra fine condition today is not common. Extra fine condition is an important detail because it reflects a coin that still shows strong original design features without heavy wear. In this grade, Lincoln hair details remain sharp, his jawline is clear, and the wheat stalks on the reverse are well defined, with only light wear on the highest points. The lettering is bold and readable, and the overall appearance is pleasing to the eye. This balance between circulation history and preserved detail makes extra fine coins highly desirable for collectors who want quality without the high cost of mint state examples. The metal composition of the 1940 wheat penny also adds interest. It was struck in bronze, made primarily of copper, which gives the coin its warm reddish-brown tone. Over time, natural aging creates color variations that collectors often appreciate. A 1940 S wheat penny with even color and minimal spots or corrosion is far more valuable than one that is dark, damaged, or uneven in appearance. Original surfaces matter greatly, and cleaning the coin can reduce its value significantly even if the details look sharp. Collectors prefer natural, untouched coins. When discussing value in today's market, the 1940 S wheat penny in extra fine condition generally trades within a solid collector range. Based on recent auction trends and private sales, an average extra fine example commonly falls between $15 and $40, depending on eye appeal, color, and strike quality. Especially attractive pieces with strong detail and smooth surfaces can sometimes reach values closer to $60 or more, while lower-end examples with darker color or minor issues may sell closer to the lower end of the range. These prices reflect steady demand rather than hype, which makes this coin a reliable collectible rather than a speculative gamble. Collector interest in the 1940 S wheat penny continues to grow as more people complete date and mint mark sets of the Lincoln Wheat series. Many collectors aim to own one example from each mint for every year, and the San Francisco issues are often harder to locate in nicer condition. This creates consistent demand, especially for coins graded extra fine or better. Beginners appreciate the affordability, while advanced collectors respect the historical significance and scarcity compared to more common dates. Another reason this coin remains popular is its connection to everyday American history. This penny would have been used during a time when families relied on small change for basic goods, and children often saved pennies in jars. The fact that a simple 1-cent coin from 1940 can still survive in extra fine condition today tells a story of careful use and preservation. Holding this coin is like holding a small piece of the past that passed through countless hands, yet still carries its original character. It is important for collectors to carefully inspect the S mint mark when evaluating a 1940 wheat penny. The mint mark should be clear and properly shaped, as worn or altered coins exist in the market. Authenticity and condition are key factors in determining value. Using proper lighting and magnification can help identify true extra fine details without relying on assumptions. Patience and education always reward collectors in the long run. The 1940 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny with S mint mark in extra fine condition may not be the most expensive coin in the series, but represents strong value, historical depth, and collector appeal. Its current market value in dollars reflects honest demand and lasting interest rather than temporary trends. For anyone building a serious wheat penny collection or simply looking for a meaningful vintage coin, this issue remains a smart and respected choice that continues to stand the test of time. Next up, the 1943 Abraham Lincoln wheat steel penny with the S mint mark is one of the most interesting and talked about coins in United States coin history, and even collectors today remain fascinated by this unusual penny because it was never meant to exist in normal copper form during that year. In 1943, the United States was deeply involved in World War II, and copper was a critical metal needed for weapons, ammunition, and military equipment. Because of this, the U.S. Mint decided to change the composition of the 1-cent coin from copper to zinc-coated steel. This decision created the famous steel penny, which looks silver gray instead of the traditional brown color people were used to seeing. The San Francisco Mint struck millions of these steel pennies in 1943, and they can be identified by the small S mint mark located below the date on the front of the coin. The design still featured Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the wheat ears on the reverse, which is why it is called a wheat penny. Even though the design remained the same, the new steel material caused many problems. These coins rusted easily, especially when the zinc coating wore off, and they were often confused with dimes because of their silver color. A dirty condition 1943 S steel penny usually shows dark gray or blackened surfaces, rust spots, stains, and heavy wear from circulation. Dirt and corrosion are very common on these coins because steel reacts quickly to moisture and air. Many people stored them improperly in the past, which caused further damage. Even in dirty condition, these pennies are still collected because they represent a unique wartime change in American history. When evaluating the value of a 1943 S Lincoln wheat steel penny in dirty condition, collectors look at several factors. The first is authenticity, because steel pennies are magnetic and a real example will stick to a magnet. The second factor is how much original zinc coating remains. On dirty coins, most of the coating is gone and rust is visible. The third factor is wear on Lincoln's face and the wheat stalks on the back. Heavy wear lowers the value, but does not eliminate collector interest. In today's market, a genuine 1943 S Lincoln wheat steel penny in dirty, circulated condition usually sells for about $1 to $3, depending on how much rust and damage is present. If the coin has extreme corrosion, holes, or deep pitting, the value may be closer to $1. If it still has strong details but looks dark and dirty, it can reach around $2 to $3. Cleaned or polished examples do not increase value and often sell for less than naturally worn coins. Many people believe all 1943 pennies are rare and extremely valuable, but that is not true for steel examples. Millions were made. However, what makes them special is the story behind them and their unique appearance. The truly rare 1943 pennies are the copper ones made by mistake, which are worth thousands of dollars. The steel version with the S mint mark remains affordable for beginner collectors and history lovers. Collectors often keep dirty condition steel pennies as found because cleaning can actually damage the surface and reduce value. Even rust tells part of the coin's history, showing how it survived decades of circulation, handling, and storage. For YouTube viewers and new collectors, this coin is a perfect example of how historical events directly changed everyday money. The 1943 S Abraham Lincoln wheat steel penny may not make someone rich, but it is still a valuable piece of American wartime history. Its value in today's market reflects both its condition and its story. Even in dirty condition, it holds steady interest and remains a must-have coin for anyone building a Lincoln cent collection or learning about rare and unusual U.S. coins.
Next up, the Abraham Lincoln wheat penny from 1954 with the D mint mark, and why this coin in extra fine condition can attract attention in the modern coin market. This coin was struck during the final decade of the wheat penny series, which ran from 1909 to 1958, and it represents a time in American history when everyday coins were still made with strong traditional designs and solid craftsmanship. The 1954 D wheat penny was minted in Denver, and millions of examples were produced, making it a common date in worn condition. However, condition is everything in coin collecting, and when this coin survives in extra fine condition, it becomes far more desirable to collectors. Extra fine condition means the coin still shows strong detail on Abraham Lincoln's hair, coat, and facial features, and the wheat ears on the reverse are bold and clear with only light wear on the highest points. Most coins from this year were heavily circulated, so finding one that still looks sharp after decades of use is not as easy as it may sound. The design of the wheat penny is one of the most loved designs in American coinage history. The obverse features Abraham Lincoln facing right, a design created to honor the 100th anniversary of his birth, and the reverse shows two wheat stalks framing the words 1 cent. By 1954, this design was already familiar to the public, yet it still carried historical importance and nostalgia, especially for collectors today who appreciate classic American coin designs. When we talk about value in today's market, a 1954 D wheat penny in extra fine condition is worth more than face value, but it is not a rare coin in the traditional sense. In today's market, this coin can generally sell for around 5 cents to 20 cents, depending on eye appeal, color, and overall preservation. Coins with original red-brown color tend to bring higher prices than dark or dull examples. If the coin has strong detail, clean surfaces, and attractive color, collectors may be willing to pay a little more. What really drives higher prices for this date are unusual features or errors. While most 1954 D wheat pennies are standard issues, some collectors search for striking errors, such as off-center strikes, double details, or unusual planchet issues. These types of errors can increase the value dramatically, sometimes reaching several dollars or more depending on how noticeable and appealing the error is. However, for normal extra fine examples without errors, the value remains modest but steady. Collectors value this coin not because it is extremely rare, but because it represents a classic era of American coinage, and it is affordable for beginners while still being interesting for experienced collectors. Many people enjoy building full wheat penny sets, and the 1954 D is an essential part of completing that collection in higher condition grades. Its affordability makes it popular and keeps demand consistent.
In conclusion, the 1954 Abraham Lincoln Wheat Penny with the D mint mark in extra fine condition is a solid collectible coin with historical charm and steady value. While it will not make someone rich overnight, it is still worth several times its face value in today's market and holds strong appeal for collectors who appreciate classic designs and well-preserved coins. If you have one in extra fine condition, it is definitely worth keeping safe and adding to a collection, as values for quality examples continue to remain stable over time. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more coin collecting content. See you next time. Happy collecting! Next up, the 1943 Abraham Lincoln Wheat Steel Penny with an S mint mark is one of the most intriguing and valuable coins in United States numismatics due to its unique composition and historical significance. During World War II, copper was critically needed for the war effort, which led the United States Mint to change the composition of the 1-cent coin from the traditional bronze alloy to zinc-coated steel for the year 1943. This temporary change resulted in the creation of the steel cent, which is magnetic and has a distinct silver-gray appearance compared to the familiar copper-colored pennies. The coins were produced at 3 mints in 1943, including the San Francisco Mint, which is identified by the S mint mark. The 1943 S Lincoln Steel Penny in extra fine condition is particularly notable for collectors because surviving examples in this grade are scarce and highly sought after. Extra fine condition indicates that the coin exhibits only minor wear on the highest points of the design. On the obverse, the portrait of Abraham Lincoln shows sharp detail in the hair, beard, and facial features, while the lettering and date remain crisp. The reverse features the iconic wheat ears design, and in extra fine condition, the lines of the wheat stalks remain well defined with minimal flattening from circulation. The steel composition makes these coins susceptible to rust and corrosion, so coins that have retained their original steel luster without significant spotting or oxidation are exceptionally desirable. The 1943 S Lincoln Steel Penny has a mintage of approximately 29,800,000, which is significantly lower than the Philadelphia and Denver mintages for the same year. The lower production at the San Francisco Mint contributes to its relative rarity, especially in higher grades like extra fine. Collectors highly value coins from this mint due to the combination of limited supply and historical interest as a wartime issue. Additionally, because the coin is made of steel, it has a very different handling and appearance compared to traditional copper pennies, making it a visually striking addition to any collection. One of the key factors in determining the value of the 1943 S Lincoln Steel Penny is its condition. Coins in circulated condition with wear and light corrosion are moderately priced, but examples in extra fine condition command a significant premium. Market values fluctuate based on collector demand and the coin's preservation, but as of today, a 1943 S Lincoln Steel Penny in extra fine condition typically ranges between $100 and $150. Coins with exceptional eye appeal, full original luster, and minimal spotting may sell for higher amounts in private sales or auctions. Collectors are willing to pay a premium for coins that have been carefully preserved over the decades, and the San Francisco Mint steel cents remain one of the highlights of wartime coinage collections. Collectors also pay close attention to the coin's strike quality and any signs of errors or unusual characteristics. Although the 1943 S Lincoln Steel Penny is generally uniform in design, some coins may exhibit striking anomalies such as double dies or off-center strikes, which can further increase value. The history of the coin as part of the wartime minting effort and its distinct steel composition make it a conversation piece and a tangible link to the economic and industrial circumstances of the early 1940s. The coin represents both a historical artifact and a collectible, offering insight into the challenges faced by the mint during one of the most challenging periods in American history. In conclusion, the 1943 S Lincoln Steel Penny in extra fine condition represents one of the most valuable and historically significant 1-cent coins ever produced by the United States Mint. Its limited mintage, wartime context, and preservation in high grade make it a highly collectible coin, with current market values typically ranging between $100 and $150. For collectors, it offers both historical insight and aesthetic appeal, making it an essential addition to any serious Lincoln cent or wartime coinage collection. The coin's steel composition, the clear depiction of Abraham Lincoln, and the well-preserved wheat reverse all contribute to its desirability and market value. This coin remains a fascinating example of numismatic history and a testament to the adaptability and resourcefulness of the mint during one of the most challenging periods in American history.